A vast Israelite army gathers atop a hill, a sea of soldiers overlooking the valley where their Philistine foes await. The air crackles with tension, the weight of impending battle heavy on every heart. Saul, the king, stands tall in his armor, a figure of regal authority, yet his eyes betray the fear that gnaws at his soul. His gaze sweeps across his warriors, a silent plea for courage in the face of overwhelming dread. Saul's tent is dimly lit by an oil lamp, casting long, dancing shadows across the battlefield maps spread on the table. Alone with his thoughts, Saul paces restlessly, his anxiety palpable in the flickering light. Outside, loyal soldiers stand guard, their presence a silent reassurance against the encroaching darkness. He clutches a small idol, a relic of his past, his brow furrowed as he questions its power. The idol is turned over and over in his hand, a tangible representation of his inner turmoil. Unsure of where to turn, Saul's grip tightens on the idol, a desperate plea for guidance in the night. Saul enters the tabernacle, his footsteps echoing in the sacred space, each step heavy with anticipation. He kneels, head bowed in supplication, seeking divine guidance in the echoing silence. Saul prays, his voice filled with desperate hope as he pleads for an answer. The silence grows, deafening in its intensity, as God remains unresponsive to Saul's pleas. Saul's hope fades, replaced by a growing sense of abandonment in the echoing void. The tabernacle stands silent, amplifying Saul's solitude and despair. Under the veil of night, Saul, cloaked in disguise, ventures into the desolate countryside. Two men follow closely behind Saul, their figures equally concealed beneath concealing cloaks. The barren landscape mirrors the inner turmoil that grips Saul's soul. The wind whispers through the fields, carrying the weight of their clandestine journey. Each step deepens the mystery of their hidden purpose. The village of Endor emerges, a lonely beacon under the cloak of night. Houses stand shuttered, silent sentinels guarding secrets within. An eerie stillness blankets the settlement, broken only by the wind's mournful cry. Shadows dance in the alleys, whispering tales of forgotten lore. The wind howls through the narrow streets, a constant reminder of the village's isolation. Endor sleeps, unaware of the events about to unfold within its silent walls. Saul and his men step into the witch's hut, their figures swallowed by the shadows. Flickering candles cast eerie shadows that dance across the rough-hewn walls. The air hangs thick with the pungent aroma of dried herbs and heavy incense. At the room's end, the Witch of Endor stands, her eyes piercing the darkness with a wary gaze. The witch observes Saul and his men, her face etched with caution. Inside the dimly lit witch's hut, smoke coils ominously from a central cauldron. The witch, weathered by age, regards Saul with deep suspicion. Saul remains cloaked in shadow, his disguise firm. The witch challenges, "Why do you come to me?" knowing that Saul has outlawed those who conjure spirits. Saul's voice cuts through the smoky air with a promise. "You will not be punished." The witch stares intently, trying to discern the truth in Saul's shadowed features. In the dimly lit witch's hut, Saul's desperation is palpable as he confronts the witch. Saul demands, "Conjure the spirit of Samuel." The witch, shrouded in shadow, trembles, her voice laced with fear. "I hesitate. The consequences could be dire." Saul reassures her, "I promise you protection. Just do it." The witch begins her incantation. Her voice, a guttural drone that fills the hut with an unsettling energy. Inside the witch's hut, the air thickens and the temperature plummets, signaling the start of a dark ritual. The witch's chanting intensifies as a swirling mist gathers, hinting at the supernatural forces at play. From the swirling mist, the spectral image of Samuel materializes, a haunting figure from beyond. Saul kneels, his face etched with awe and terror at the sight of the resurrected prophet. In the cavern's heart, torchlight flickers across Samuel's face, making him appear spectral. Saul kneels, his face a mask of desperation. From the shadows, Samuel's voice echoes, "Why have you disturbed me, bringing me up?" Saul's plea cuts through the silence. The Philistines are too strong. God has turned silent. Saul's voice cracks with desperation. "I beg you, give me guidance." Within the witch's dimly lit hut, candlelight flickers, casting haunting shadows as Samuel confronts Saul. Samuel's words echo in the cramped space. "Your disobedience has sealed your fate, Saul. God has turned away from you." Saul stands, his armor dulled, his unease growing with each word. The prophecy hangs heavy in the air as Samuel declares, "In the coming battle, you will be defeated, and you will die." In the dimness of the witch's hut, Saul succumbs to despair, collapsing onto the floor, his body convulsing with inconsolable sobs. The witch, her face unexpectedly softened by empathy, kneels beside Saul, offering a silent, comforting presence. The witch speaks gently, her voice a soothing balm. "Drink, child. You need strength." The witch urges, "At least eat something. You can't go on like this." Inside the witch's dimly lit hut, candlelight flickers, casting eerie shadows across the crude wooden walls as the heavy scent of herbs and damp earth fills the air. The witch turns urgently to Saul, her face a roadmap of worry as she implores, "Saul, you must eat. You are weak, and the journey ahead is long." Saul stands hesitant, the weight of his men's weary gazes pressing upon him. Reluctantly, Saul agrees. "Very well." Inside the dimly lit witch's hut, a fire crackles, painting the room with dancing shadows as Saul sits wearily at a table. He devours the steaming stew with gusto, each spoonful bringing a visible return of color to his pale cheeks. His posture straightens, the vitality visibly surging back into his weary frame with every bite. With renewed strength, Saul offers a heartfelt sentiment. "Thank you for your kindness." Under the pale dawn, Saul and his men depart the village of Endor, their expressions heavy with foreboding. The first light of day breaks across the horizon, casting long shadows that mirror the group's despair. Saul's face is etched with grim determination as he leads his men away from the last vestiges of hope. The village fades behind them, the growing daylight unable to penetrate the darkness of their hearts. With each step, Saul ventures deeper into a world where even the dawn offers no solace. Saul returns to the Israelite camp, his posture mirroring his inner defeat. Silence blankets the camp, amplifying Saul's despair as he moves. Saul gathers his commanders, his voice barely audible as he speaks of impending doom. Samuel has spoken. A prophecy of doom. The weight of Samuel's prophecy crushes the commanders, hope visibly fading from their faces. Dread sweeps through the army, uncertainty now, a palpable presence. The air hangs heavy with unspoken fears, the prophecy casting a long, dark shadow. The battlefield roars to life as the Israelite and Philistine armies collide in a brutal clash. Steel clashes against steel, a cacophony of war echoing across the blood-soaked ground. Saul, a beacon of courage, fights with the heart of a lion amidst the chaos. Despite Saul's bravery, the tides of battle turn against the Israelites. The Philistine onslaught intensifies, threatening to engulf the Israelite forces. The day darkens as defeat looms, Saul's valiant efforts unable to stem the inevitable. The battlefield erupts as the Philistines charge, their massive numbers crashing against the Israelite lines. Israelite soldiers falter, their formations collapsing under the relentless assault. The clash of steel echoes across the field, a symphony of destruction as soldiers fall amidst the chaos. Saul's sons are cut down, their lives extinguished before his horrified eyes. The Israelite army crumbles, routed and broken, their hopes dashed against the overwhelming tide of the enemy. Amidst the brutal chaos of the battlefield, steel clashes and men scream in agony. Saul, weakened and bleeding from arrow wounds, surveys the carnage. His face is etched with pain and a dawning realization. With a voice laced with despair, Saul whispers, "It is happening. The prophecy. It's coming true." In a desperate plea, Saul cries out, "My armor-bearer, kill me! End this suffering." The armor-bearer, unwavering in loyalty, responds firmly, "I cannot, my king. I will not." Saul's face contorts in a mixture of agony and acceptance as the battle rages on around him. Saul stands on the battlefield, his armor battered, the weight of defeat heavy upon him. In a desperate act of defiance, Saul raises his sword, the steel glinting in the fading light. With grim resolve, Saul plunges the sword into his own chest, choosing death over capture. Saul collapses onto the blood-soaked ground, his reign as king ending in a final, tragic act. His lifeless body lies still, a stark testament to the grim prophecy fulfilled on the desolate battlefield. The battlefield falls silent, the only sound the mournful whisper of the wind across the fallen king. Under the scorching sun on Mount Gilboa, Philistine soldiers scour the battlefield, their expressions hardened by war. A grim discovery. Saul's lifeless body lies still, his armor soaked in crimson. A Philistine soldier raises his sword high, a swift, brutal motion. They strip Saul of his royal armor, a symbol of their hard-won triumph and the end of an era. Messengers are dispatched, racing across the Philistine lands to spread the news of their victory, their horses kicking up dust in their wake. Against the stark backdrop of Beth-shan, Saul's lifeless form hangs, a macabre testament to Philistine triumph. The relentless sun casts harsh shadows on the city wall, illuminating the ghastly spectacle of defeat. Below, the Israelites gather, their faces a canvas of grief and despair as they gaze upon their fallen leader. Their eyes reflect a mixture of horror and disbelief, mirroring the grim reality of their devastating loss. The weight of their nation's sorrow is palpable, a silent lament rising from the depths of their anguished hearts. The scene is a stark tableau of conquest and despair, the silence broken only by the wind whispering through the city walls. Under the cloak of night, the people of Jabesh Gilead gather, their hearts heavy with sorrow yet resolute with purpose. With brave determination, they approach the walls of Beth-shan, where shadows dance in the torchlight. Torches held high, they illuminate the grim task ahead, the retrieval of Saul and his sons. Gently, reverently, they take down the bodies, their movements slow and deliberate. Each face reflects a mix of sorrow for the fallen and gratitude for the chance to honor them. In the flickering torchlight, the fallen heroes are carried away, their memory forever etched in the hearts of Jabesh Gilead. Under the cloak of night, flames hungrily consume the fallen, painting the sky with fiery hues. From the ashes, the charred remains of heroes are reverently gathered. Beneath the silent gaze of a tamarisk tree, they find their final resting place. Faces etched with sorrow, a somber group keeps vigil, their grief a palpable shroud. In silent mourning, they fast for 7 days, their bodies weakened by sorrow and loss. A week of silence, a testament to the king's absence, echoes through the desolate landscape. In the vast countryside, a lone shepherd traverses the undulating hills. Long shadows stretch across the land as the sun dips lower, painting the scene with golden hues. The wind whispers secrets through the tall grass. Lost in thought, the shepherd contemplates the tragic story of King Saul. A fallen leader, King Saul's reign ended in despair. The shepherd embodies the hope for a new leader,